Yo, Spider, thank you so much for the 60 months, by the way. 5-year badge incoming. That's so hype. Thanks so much for being here for 60 months. And for being a great part of our community. And being so supportive. Also, I'm almost dead. Yeah, man, thank you so much for everything. I look forward to it. 60 more months, we'll both be old men. We can reminisce about the good old days. Remember when 4-8 Live used to be good? According to YouTube and some people in the chat, in 60 months I'll still be playing Final Fantasy XIV. I'm just gonna be so addicted to it. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna be so addicted. I'm not gonna play anything else for the rest of the time. I predict no. I predict that I will like it. But I don't think I'm gonna be addicted. But maybe. Luke. I wish it was more like 11. Now that probably is not gonna happen. I'll be honest. I don't think that's gonna happen. But not because 11 is worse. Just because I know the type of game I like. From everything I've heard, 14 is more up my alley than 11 is. So. It does worry me that everyone says 14 is World of Warcraft, because I didn't really like World of Warcraft. I thought it was okay, but it didn't grab me at all. I think my problem with World of Warcraft was every fight was just use the same abilities that I use every fight. It was just like an ability scroll. It's every fight. Do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Which, like, to be fair, a lot of RPGs are like that, but a lot of MMOs are like that, but yeah, like, I think the part of WoW that I didn't like was just the fact that it was an MMO. Like, I think it was good. I liked a lot of what I saw, but when it came down to it, it was an MMO, and MMOs aren't my thing. I think that's really the only. So it's not really WoW's fault. Like, I think it was good. If there was a bit more action, like just, you know, movement and like maybe pressing buttons during the fights, like maybe regular attacks. I know it sounds silly, but just something else to do in fight, because it just all boiled down to walk up to an enemy, use ability 1, then 2, then 3. Walk up to an ability, use 1, then 2, then 3. It just got so monotonous. And then everyone was like, well, the real fun is in the raids. Like, you can't base it on the story. You gotta base it on the raids, because it's all about the raids. So then, I joined one of my friends for a raid, and I walked up to enemies, and I used ability 1, 2, and 3. but this time my friends were like, hey, Death, use ability 1, and then 2, and then 3. And I was like, okay, I'll use ability 1, 2, and 3. So it didn't really change. Also, bro, with the $100 donation. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Saber Sephiroth is in yellow health. We went on a quest over this entire month to get through this New Game Plus, and we are within striking distance of it. That is truly incredible. Thank you so much, bro. He said Metal Health Singer for Trophy Quest. I have to actually look that up. I don't know what the trophies are like. And that, but I will definitely do that. Thank you. And Kylio, thank you for the 100 bits as well. I can't believe that. I can't believe we went all the way from Genova to here. Alright, I'm gonna chill here for a second, because I have to go to the bathroom, and I gotta see this Saber Sephiroth get killed. So we're gonna chill here for a minute. Oh, perfect timing. The timing. We did it! He's dead! It's time. Tifa has finally finished her quest to defeat Clued. Again, thank you guys so much for making Hollow Month what it was this year. Could have never done this without you guys. Getting through the whole game twice. Truly, truly incredible stuff. Thank you so, so much. Congrats! Check your Twitch DMs in like 9 hours. Why am I being attacked? Hey! 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 I got bamboozled. Hold on, I gotta write down the winner. Wait, I gotta... Okay. That guy is mad. I didn't win! This guy's mad he didn't win. This guy's like, this giveaway was rigged. And now you die. Congrats everyone that won. And again, thank you so much for making Hollow Month the greatest Hollow Month ever this year. Truly. It was truly incredible. It's an amazing, amazing month. And we still got 2 more super bosses that we can maybe defeat. We got 2 days. See what happens. But we've already, I mean, above and beyond, man. It's been so amazing. Thank you guys. I was gonna go get coffee after the giveaways and then jump back in. This guy was like, nope, we're fighting now. Guys, while I got my iTunes up, dude, you know what I found, like refound it. I mean, I wouldn't say I refound it because I've listened to it like fairly recently, but I forgot how amazing the Tekken Tag Tournament OST is. Like, I always knew it was good, and I always remembered it being good, and I would listen to it and be like, yeah, this is good. But man, I really like sat down and listened to it the other day, and oh my god. Like, tell me this isn't the greatest banger of all time. Like, try to tell me this isn't the biggest banger of all time. Like, are you kidding me? I'm already having more fun killing these demon warlocks. Yeah, man, Tekken Tag. The greatest Tekken game. Nope, this is one of the stage teams. Zayu's stage. I never knew how to pronounce her name. Zayu? Pretty sure it's Zayu. Zayu stage. It does kind of have a Persona feel. And then you have the classic one that everyone knows. Everyone knows this one. The Yoshimitsu stage. No shape. No shape. Why did you stop? Oh. Nobody. No shape. This is the one that everyone remembers if they played the game. No shape. But yeah, man, like Tekken has always had this really unique soundtrack. Like all the games have like this really weird style. But man, they're so good. And then, yeah, you guys heard this one this morning, the Unknown stage. This is such a great Halloween song. Also, I love the character of Unknown. I'm sad she, like, never came back. I always thought she was a really cool character. Then you have the school stage. Another classic. The best part of this song is when the school bell comes in. Dude, I agree. Tekken Tag was on another level. Game is so good. Wait for it. It's coming. Here it comes. lot of it's nostalgia, but man, I was listening to this soundtrack. It just brought me back, man. That Tekken Tag was like on a whole nother level. It felt a bit like the Smash Bros. Ultimate of Tekken. Like, it just had so many features and so many characters back when, like, that was not really a thing. Like, the game was on PS2, and it had, like, 30 characters or some crazy. Like, it had so many characters. And so many, like, little modes and stuff. It was just the kind of, like, let's have fun Tekken game. It didn't have, like, all the stories were, like, goofy, and it didn't treat itself like a main entry. It just kind of did its own thing. It was so good. I'm sad Tekken Tag 2 wasn't as good. Well, I did actually kind of like Tekken Tag 2, but I didn't play it that much. Didn't have the same effect, I guess. We're already almost 58. We're close. New Jet Set radio game, if only. If only. Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio was a bit hard for me to get into because I was so used to, like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's what I grew up on. But man, if that game isn't like one of the most stylish games I've ever seen. And the music was super banger. I just enjoyed riding around and listening to the music and, like, looking at the landscapes. Like, the actual gameplay, I was like, man, whatever. I just liked playing it. Just liked looking at it, listening to it. Yeah, it's Tekken Tag Tournament. And all the Tekken games have that weird kind of style. But Tekken Tag Tournament, I think, was, like, probably the one that went the hardest with that weird style. Distorted voices, and I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know what to call that genre. Speaking of genres, I found a new genre the other day. I'm a genre nerd. Like, I love just finding new genres of music. Even if I don't like it, I just like experiencing new genres. I just think it's cool to, like, learn the history of the genre and where it came from and, like, what it's about. Hey, there's discount. Let's clear the rest of the room first. Also need to wait for my boys. Are my boys coming? Boys? 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 Oh. They got lost. Normally they get here pretty fast. They got lost. I can't select them to release them. Does anyone actually remember the... Oh, great. Does anyone actually remember the thing to dismiss your party members? It's not / where are the boys. Oh, this is not going well. Oh, there's Semi. Just strolling in. got rid of the wizard. I'm gonna die though if none of my white mages get here. Where are you going? Semi! She just left me for dead. She just left me for dead. How could she do this? I thought we were friends. Oh, she come back. Yes? He's attacking her for some reason? No. Attack her. Betrayal. Jokim's here. Please heal me. Please heal me faster. Alright, we're good. We somehow survived. There's the boys. They made it. Oh my god. So anyways, now that that's over, I found this new genre. It's not even new, it's just new to me. It's called Phonk. Have you ever heard of this? P-H-O-N-K. It originated from Memphis rap. And it's basically like trap based from Memphis rap. So they use like old mixtapes of Memphis rappers and they mix it with like a trap style. But the one difference that like puts it kind of away from a regular trap sound is it's like super mega ultra bass, like deep bass, not bass boosted, but like deep bass. What the keg W are you talking about? But no, wait. If you think that's keg W, wait, because it goes deeper. So the regular Phonk style is based in like Memphis rap mixed with trap, right? So you don't know what Memphis. So like it's kind of hard to explain, but like Memphis rap is like a specific style of rap that originated in Memphis. It has its own like kind of feel. So like it's a kind of separated from like regular rap. That's really all you need to know. Is it's just its own kind of style of rapper, right? So someone took specifically Memphis rap and they put it to a trap sound, which trap is rap in trap, or rap in techno equals trap. So it's like a techno style rap, or techno that kind of has that rap feel, right? But then on top of that, it also has really, really loud, strong, deep bass. So you combine those three things and that's Phonk. And then on top of that, there's another version of Phonk called Drift Phonk. And I don't exactly know the difference between Drift Phonk and regular Phonk. I think maybe Drift Phonk has more of the deeper bass sound than regular Phonk does. I'm not really 100% sure. I just found this literally yesterday, so I don't know exactly. But I think Drift Phonk is a bit more of the bass feel to it than regular Phonk. But the funny thing about Drift Phonk is that it got its name because people would put Phonk to videos of people drifting in cars. So the idea is like you hit that fat bass and then drift in your super expensive car. And that's like the whole feel that's the whole vibe they're trying to get. So there's all these YouTube videos of Drift Phonk where people will drift in expensive cars and it'll like hit the bass right when they hit the drift. And that's why it's called Drift Phonk. But the first song I saw of it, I heard this song and it said the genre was Drift Phonk. And I was like, what is that? What? I don't know what Phonk is. What is Drift Phonk? That sounds so weird. But then I figured out the history of it. I'm like, wow, that actually makes sense. Like they But yeah, like the first time I heard it, I was like, what? What in the world is drift Phonk? But now it makes sense. It's Phonk that you drift to. It's a sub-genre. I tell you, it's pretty dope. Think of the 777 Reckless. Have a good night, man. Let's see if I can find this this song I was listening to last night. Let's see. I gotta make sure I don't die to discount Lorax here. The old discount Lorax. Don't die, Belaine. Alright, hold on. Let's kill discount Lorax first. I wonder if Subsonics knows what Phonk is. Because he's big into techno and big into cars, but then again, he's more of a D&B guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he at least heard of it. Alright, hold on. Alright, this'll do. Maybe. Here, this is basically what it sounds like. It is like the most deep bass you've ever heard in your life. It's pretty just imagine being in a car and hitting that fat drift, dropping that fat bass. I could see it. My inner boomer just died. That's what I'm here to do, guys. I'm here to bring you into the future of music. One day you're gonna turn on the radio, it's gonna be nothing but drift Phonk. The gunshot is a metaphor for killing your inner boomer. Becoming one with the future music. Yeah, so I kind of wondered, like, you ever go to, like, you ever stop at a stop sign and some guy stops at, like, the intersection next to you and you can hear the rattling of their car, like their bass is so loud that you can just, like, feel the bass emanating from their car. I always wondered, like, is their music just so loud that you can feel it from outside the car? Or are they listening to something that the bass is so strong that it emanates from the car? And I think I found it out. I think they're listening to Phonk. I think all these people are Phonk connoisseurs. And that's what they're listening to. It all makes sense now. Yeah, see, I always thought, like, it can't be that loud. There's no way. They'd go deaf. But that's what it's just Phonk, man. It's just the bass. The bass is just so bumping. They couldn't afford to get hydraulics in their car, so they just play Phonk. So their car will move. The car will bonk up and down to the bass. That's the thing though, I don't know how old Phonk is. I don't know if it actually is a new thing or if it's old. It could be older. If it's older though, I'm surprised I've never heard of it. Because I've heard of many, many, many different techno genres at this point. But it is pretty niche, so. I only crank it during the peak of Stairway to Heaven. Are you even listening to music if you don't crank it during Stairway to Heaven? Do you even deserve to have a radio in your car if you don't turn it up during Stairway to Heaven? I would argue that you should take the music out of your car. I mean, I would understand the argument that it's overrated, but it doesn't make it not good. I think that people argue about things being overrated too much. Like, it's okay for things to be liked. You know what I mean? Even if it is, like, that's okay. It got popular because it's good. It doesn't need to... You don't have to bring it down a notch by calling it overrated. Now, some things are overrated that shouldn't be, but... Final Fantasy VII smiley face. We gave away 3 $50 gift cards. I was gonna do like a whole collection of all the games we've played throughout the month. But a lot of people won the games over the month because we gave away so many games. So I figured, you know, if I give away that, people already own some of the games. So I did 3 $50 gift cards instead of their choosing. It can be Steam, PSN, Xbox, Nintendo, Amazon. See, but that's the thing though, that's their problem. Like, to say the song is overrated because someone says, like, you know, you suck if you don't like it, that's not the song's fault, that's just them being dumb. And I mean, you could say that about anything. Like, listen, I could call Final Fantasy XI overrated because some people come in here and say it's better than 14. And if you think 14 is good, you're crazy. So there you go. 11 is overrated. Like, no, not really. It's just some people really like it. I don't know. I don't know what a better... I think some people just take things too seriously. That's just what it comes down to. Yeah, well, there's the difference between exaggeration and, like, putting other people down for not liking it. Like I said, if you don't turn up the volume during the song, you should have your music removed from your car. So in a way, I was kind of saying, like, you're an idiot if you don't like it. But I was obviously joking. People that actually get mad, like you know the ones, you know, this happened all the time back in, like, the console wars. I would go to school, and they'd be like, Xbox or PlayStation? I'd be like, PlayStation. They'd would spend the next 30 minutes trying to prove me wrong. It's like, no, I can like PlayStation. Like, I'm allowed to, you know? Like, you're wrong for liking PlayStation over Xbox, and then they spend the next 30 minutes explaining why I'm wrong for liking the thing I like. Right. Yeah, no, I wasn't, like, saying anything mean to anyone. I was just making a joke about how good it is. But I'm not gonna sit here and explain to someone, like, you know, to you, like, well, this is why it's the greatest song ever, and if you're not agreeing with this, then you're an idiot. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's fair to call it overrated if a lot of people do that. If that's the mentality a lot of people have that like that thing. Maybe overrated is the right term. I just feel bad for calling it overrated because it feels like I'm being mean to the song. And I'm not, you know, it's the people that like the song, not the song itself. Like when someone comes in here, like this is obviously a group of people that really like Final Fantasy, and specifically Final Fantasy VII usually. When someone comes in here and they're like, Final Fantasy VII's overrated, it feels like an attack on us. You know what I mean? Even if it's not. It feels like it is. The way they word that, it sounds like they're saying, screw you for liking it. The boys. Yeah, it sounds like troll bait. Now, maybe they don't mean that. Maybe they mean, like, objectively, they think that the game got more publicity and more love from people than it should have, and it's not really that good. But I don't know. That's quite the hard sell. If that many people like it, it's probably good. Like, you probably just don't like it. You probably just have a weird, not a weird opinion, but a different opinion. But if that many people like it, you're pretty much saying that all those people are wrong and you're right. That's a hard sell. You'd have to really have quite the list of proof to prove that every single person that ever liked Final Fantasy VII that much is wrong, and you're right. Yeah, if a million people disagree with you, it's not that they're haters, it's that they're correct. And by correct, I don't mean that you should like it, I just mean that it's sufficiently rated. Like, it deserves the love it gets, you know? Still doesn't mean you have to like it, but... Well, see, that's a moot argument because a million people wouldn't jump off a bridge. Because a million people know that that's not a smart thing to do. That's the point. You know, that's the point. If a million people do it, it's probably reasonably an understandable thing. Granted, a million isn't even that much, to be honest. At this point, there's probably a million people that think the world is flat or something, you know, with how sensationalized everything is now. But you get the point. Final Fantasy VII has been out for over 2 decades, and people still love it. Still play it, still love it. There's museums dedicated to it. It's had so many different releases that have all sold well. A remake that sold well. A movie that sold well. Like, at this point, it's hard to look at it and be like, well, objectively, it's not that great. Like, there's no way. Like, how did all this stuff happen and all of it was successful, you know? It just seems like a really bad take. Yeah, there's a Final Fantasy museum in Japan, and like there's a big frozen Sephiroth in the floor and stuff. I've seen pictures of it. It's dope. I want to go there one day. Yo, how's it going, Stewie? We're having an amazing day. We finished New Game Plus. And we might finish Final Fantasy XI today. I'm very close to 60, and then we're taking on the Shadow Lord. I'm getting to level 60, Sari. Yeah, you know, again, you know, for those of you just walking into this conversation and you're like, bro, what are you talking about? We're talking about specifically calling games overrated. You're totally allowed to hate a game that's popular. But to say it's overrated, you have to have some kind of proof that, like, it didn't deserve all of the sales it's gotten, which I think was 7. I think that ship is sailed. It definitely deserves its place. There's no way it's continued to be successful 2 decades after it came out. And, like, secretly it actually sucks. There's no way. You're not gonna win that argument. Well, that's because casuals play it. It still gets bad ratings. You can still look up the Metacritic of any of the games and it sucks. People don't argue that it's good, they just argue that they buy it because it's fun and it's football. You can't call it overrated because the ratings suck. You can call it oversold, like casuals buy it even though they shouldn't, and that's a true statement. To be fair, though, they should buy it. If they want the newest football game, they're going to enjoy it. They don't need it to be good. They just need it to be the next football game. Casual players don't need a masterpiece. That's not why they buy games. They buy games to play football with their friends, and the latest Madden will allow them to play football with their friends. They're not jumping in and going, well, objectively, the graphics in this one aren't really as good as a step up as the previous entries. And, you know, the menu isn't as good, and the UI isn't as great, and there's not as many plays in the playbook. Like, they don't care. It's football. They can play with their friends. If it functions, they like it. That's fair. It's like the difference between me and going to see a movie and a movie critic going to see a movie. I'm not a movie critic. If I go to a movie theater and there's some explosions, I walk out and I'm like, that was a good time. Like, honestly. I've seen several movies where, like, I enjoyed it, and then I go home and look up the IMDb, and they're, like, trashing it. And I'm like, oh, well, I liked it. It's because they were looking for something different. Depends on the movie, though. I do go to see some movies for a objectively good movie, but like when I went to go see Avatar, like I just wanted to see some blue men shoot things. And I got to see blue men shoot things, and I was like, this is a great movie. I mean, it's the difference between a Hollywood blockbuster and a good movie. Like, they've been making Transformers movies for like over 10 years now, and the last 5 of them have been atrocious, but they keep making them because that people just go to see explosions and robots. Like, it's just a Hollywood blockbuster. They put a bunch of money into it, and a bunch of people go and see it because explosions. They're not trying to make a new Citizen Kane, you know? And so you have to go in with that kind of mentality. But if you're a movie critic, you're going in to see if it's a good movie, even though it's not objectively good, not gonna be. And that's like that's where the similarities are with like us and Madden. You know, being a video game fan, we look at Madden with disgust. Like, how could anyone pay $70 for the same game again? But people that just play Madden because it's football, they don't look at it the same way. They're like, wow, this was totally worth my $70. I get to play Madden, you know? It's the same exact way with like Hollywood blockbuster hits. A movie critic is going to go in there and be like, that was atrocious, but we're going to go in there and be like, ooh, explosions, ooh, robots. And that's totally fine. Yeah, I think, yeah, I've read some game reviews that are usually, like, a lot nicer to games like that because they say it serves its purpose. And then some people will trash them and be like, but it's still bad. I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, what... Should we give the next Madden a great rating because technically it's trying to just be a football game and that's what it is? I don't think I mean, I think we have to measure it versus other games. I think that's the only fair thing to do. That kind of goes back to what I was saying about Final Fantasy XI earlier, too. Like, I've been pretty nice to this game because it's an MMO, so I try to look at it in the lens of an MMO and be like, well, does it do the MMO thing well? It does. So, you know, even though there's parts of it that I dislike, I feel like it does MMO stuff well. So I'm tending to be a bit nicer to it for that reason. Because for what they were trying to accomplish, I think they accomplished it pretty well. And the fact that MMO fans still play it to this day kind of speaks to that. How's it going, Nomadic? Now, I'll be honest and still point out the things that I don't like personally, because it's me playing the game and it's my Let's Play. But, you know, when it comes down to it, when people ask me, like, you know, what do you think of the game? I'll be like, well, I mean, it does the MMO thing well. Thank you, Nomadic. And also thank you for the raid, Napaz. We're talking video game reviews. You wouldn't know anything about that, obviously. I don't have any prior experience with that. Alright, we're almost up a level that I can resummon everyone. I can guarantee you're wrong. I got the paperwork right here. It says you're wrong and your opinions are bad. Signed by the President of the United States. And Nintendo. Oh, speaking of unpopular opinions, I have an unpopular opinion. And I know how much you guys love those. And won't meme me at all, so... What? Snakeboat, can you wake up, please? Snakeboat? Can you wake up? Help. Oh my god. Bro, I know you're immobile, but he's right there. Just hit him. Just move your arms. So, anyways, yeah, hot take incoming. So, there's this thing. Have you seen the thing going around on the internet about Sakurai? The Kirby Smash Bros. You know, Nintendo developer guy, director guy. He releases these. He's been releasing these YouTube videos on this new channel. I think it's a new channel. I don't know what the actual channel is. I don't know if it's his or like Nintendo's or whatever, but he's releasing these YouTube videos and they're about like his game development and like his old games and what went into the development and like just like tips and tricks for new game developers, but then also kind of like history lessons on how he developed those games and stuff. But anyways, he released this new one about Super Smash Bros. 64, the original, and it's getting like memed into oblivion because halfway through the video, he says, let me get the actual quote so I don't misquote him. Because the video has subtitles, so should be easy enough to just read it. There's a lot of really cool stuff in here in this video, by the way. So he says, like, the big thing that he says that everyone's memeing is, as more fighting games become combo focused, the less room there was for strategy. That's like the big thing everyone's memeing. So what he was saying was, when he was making Smash Bros. 64, he was looking at other fighting games and how if you had to learn all these combos and stuff and then just pull out the combos at the right time, and you could basically just smash anyone that didn't know the combos. And so when he was making Smash 64, he was thinking, like, the more combos you have to learn, and even like getting to the point where you're doing combos where the other player just doesn't even get to play the game, you don't really get to strategize as much. So he wanted to make a game where there weren't as many combos, and it was more about improving your strategies. So when you hit a character, they go flying, and then depending on where you are on the stage and what's going on, you can then follow up a certain way. Instead of in regular fighting games, where you basically just get an opening and then do the same combo you always do. And that's very much simplifying fighting games. But that's basically what he's talking about, where like if you get an opening that you know, and you know the combo to do in that opening, you're just hitting the same exact buttons every time to do that combo. He wanted it to be more of an improv, where you hit a Kirby at 60%, you can do certain things with that. Whereas if you hit a Bowser at 20%, you can do certain things with that. Or maybe you hit a Bowser at 20% on Yoshi's Island versus hitting a Bowser at 20% on Samus's stage, you know? So there's more improv involved, and it's not just you're doing the same combos that you've memorized, right? So that's what he's getting at. But everyone's just like memeing it to oblivion because he basically said, like, people are taking it out of context and saying, like, he's saying that combo games take no strategy, or he's saying that Smash Bros. Itself isn't a combo game, because it is. Even Smash 64, like, you still have combos. So I feel like people are taking it out of context and just saying, like, either one of those two things. Either combo games have no strategy, or Mario 64 isn't a combo game. And yeah, I don't think he's saying that. I think that he was basically just saying what his headspace was at the time. Like, he wasn't even making a comment on the general like way that the game is now, or the way the game was even made back then. He was just saying that was where his headspace was when designing it. I don't even think it was supposed to be taken as like a, you know, a quote you could take out of that and say Sakurai said this. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was literally just explaining where his headspace was. Like, he saw the fighting games, he saw how combos worked, and he's like, I'm going to try to implement more improv into the fighting game that I'm making. I think that's all there was to it. I don't think you're supposed to take that much meaning out of it. But I'm seeing it, like, memed all over, and I just feel like it shouldn't be. I feel like it shouldn't be something that's taken out of context. I think, like, yeah. Well, the hot take is that apparently that's what everyone thinks. Like, that seems to be the general consensus, is that it should be memed. Maybe it's not, but that's what I mean, I saw it everywhere. And, like, people seem to be agreeing with it. I just think that, like, I think that you're really far removed from reality. Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where, like, it's the internet, so the louder people are just heard more, but so maybe it's not that much of a hot take, but I just feel like you're totally missing Sakurai as a person if you think that he thinks that combo games aren't strategy-based. Like, you know that he, like, practically played professionally. Like, he was a very competitive and good fighting game player at one point. Like, he knows fighting games. It's not like he made Smash because he didn't get fighting games or something. Like, I think that's the take some people are getting. Like Sakurai had no idea how fighting games worked, so he made Smash instead. Like, no. He was a very competitive fighting game player. Like, he knew fighting games. It's not like he had no idea what was going on and was like, I'll just make Smash, it'll be easier. It'll be simpler. I'll make a fighting game for noobs, because I'm a noob. Like, no. You just don't even understand the guy, if you think that. He grew up in the arcades. He grew up with that type of, you know, environment. Did you guys know that Sakurai, like, basically speedran at one point? He has a speedrun record in Break the Targets. That was like a real record at one point. You can look it up. It's pretty dope. Sakurai is a speedrunner. He does seem like such a cool guy. Like, the big thing with Sakurai is that he's just a, for lack of a better term, he's like a mover and shaker. He's the guy that changes things. When everyone else is doing the same thing, he was the one to say, but what if we do this? And you can't teach that, you know, that's... It's gonna attack me. Let's just clear this room. A gamer's gamer. I think that's fair. Like, he grew up in the scene. He's not someone that... And I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to say that really anyone at the gaming companies didn't at least understand games. Like, minus the CEO or the investors. But when you get to like the actual directors of the game and stuff, they all understand games, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, I think he really does understand from the ground up what makes a game, and he understands the culture. You know, how's it going, Omen? Can we just fire the Sony CEO and make Sakurai the CEO of Sony? That's all I want. I just want someone that even remotely understands the culture of gaming as the CEO of Sony. That was the greatest thing I've ever heard. Just, I say with little exaggeration that I would rather anyone in this chat right now be the CEO of Sony. Just anyone that even just remotely understands gaming culture. How can you be the CEO and not understand, like, anything? It just blows my mind. I guess, I mean, I don't know. I guess I need to know more about what the CEO of a company like Sony does. I have a general understanding of what CEOs of, like, normal companies do. But I don't know what the CEO of, like, a gaming company does. Honestly, I don't. Like, what skills do you need? Because you're not the mouthpiece of the company. That's what we've established already. Like, you're just not. You could say the dumbest crap ever, and apparently no one cares, or, you know, you don't get any kind of... There's no one in your ear being like, hey, don't say that. So... Is it just the big, you know, the big business plays? You just have to be a businessman? Deciding, you know, the big decisions? Mergers and stuff like that. Because I don't really think you affect the games at all. You know, if you're the CEO of, like, the Cheez-It company, you're obviously not on the ground creating the Cheez-Its, okay? But you have some kind of, like, you know, people are going to bring up ideas, and you have some kind of say on those ideas and where the general movement of the company is going, right? When some kind of new special Cheez-It is created, you had some kind of hand in that, deciding what it was going to be, what it was going to be called, what flavors you were going to go with. Like, that's all at least thrown through the CEO, right? But as the CEO of, like, a gaming company, I feel like all that's kind of done through all of the other... Like, you have all these different studios that are just doing that. I don't really know what you do. Like, do you just kind of decide, like, this company is going to do this project, or is going to have this much funding? Like, the CEO isn't going to Naughty Dog and being like, you're going to make Last of Us 3. Like, that's not his decision. They're deciding what games to either create or bring up and say, can we create this? So I don't know. Like, I'd be interested to see. Maybe I should watch, like, I don't know if there's some kind of behind the scenes or, like, explanation of, like, the CEO position at a gaming company. I'd be curious to see what they really actually do. Yeah, it's just like the general, like, we need to focus on more story-based games or more action, but I don't even think that's the case. I mean, it's all money. Like, I feel like you're looking at the numbers and saying, action games are hot right now. We're gonna get this studio to work on an action game. But even then, don't you have people, don't you have, like, data people for that? I mean, I don't want to say that the CEO does nothing, because that's just not fair to say. I'm sure he does. But in my head, I feel like he's sitting in his chair, and his data people come up and they say, all right, listen, action games are hitting it right now. We're thinking about having Santa Monica Studio create another action game on the side while they create what they're creating now. And then what? Does he just say yes or no? Like, I don't know. Like, is he just a yes guy? Does he just say yes and no to whatever people bring to him? Like, is he... Because games are too, like, involved for him to really have, like, an effect on them. Like I said, it's not like Cheez-Its, where the CEO can just be like, we're going to try a taco flavor. Like, they're way too involved. He can't just be like, you know, he's not going to Naughty Dog and being like, I have this great idea for the story of Last of Us 3. Like, that's... You have writers and all these different people that come together to create the story already. They're just bringing it up to you and being like, can we have the money to make this? Right? So I don't know. I don't know. I'd be interested to know. And you know, that's not even getting into, you know, stuff like the Activision CEO who fires half of his company and takes home like $300 million. Like, we haven't even gotten into the how much they get paid. And I don't want to be, because I don't really know what they do, I feel like it's wrong of me to say they get paid too much. But I think it's a fair assumption that when you fire several hundred people and you take home 300 mil, there's something wrong going on. Like, there's nothing you could possibly be doing that's worth that much money and worth that many people losing their job. But, you know, who knows? All I can do is speculate. All I can say is these people get paid too much and the money is in the wrong place and the games suck, but I don't really know the true back end of it. I can only speculate. But man, do I do a lot of speculating. Man, do I play Call of Duty Vanguard and do a lot of speculating as to what's going on in those offices. I mean, like I said, I'm not part of the game creation. So it may be a bit wrong of me to speculate on these things. But I think it's fair when I spend $70 on Call of Duty Vanguard and I get pretty much the worst experience I've ever gotten playing a video game. And then at the same time, I open up my Google and I see Activision CEO sexual abuse allegations. And then I see his paycheck. And then I see hundreds of Activision employees laid off. I see Treyarch getting a quarter of the funding they usually get, and half of the Treyarch team leaving for a company that hasn't even made games yet, and the head of the Zombies community leaving to create that company. Like, I'm gonna have some thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have some assumptions, like, seems like something's going wrong over there. You know, it seems like things aren't going the way that they wanted them to, you know? While I'm sitting here playing my $70 game that doesn't even have a battle pass yet. Like, something is amiss. So, as much as I hate to make assumptions, it's gotta happen sometimes. As someone that is part of the gaming community, not the developing side, but the, you know, content side, I'm gonna have some assumptions.